Melbourne's property market is a trap. Here's who's about to get burned. I'm telling you guys, not all growth is good, especially when it's built on hype, desperation, and FaceTime inspections. Melbourne's property market is heating up again. But before you pop champagne and bid on a 3-bedder in Tarneit, you better understand this, guys. We're in a 2-speed market, and if you've been following the herd, you're probably headed straight for a cliff. So what are we unpacking today? In today's video, I'm breaking down what the hell is a 2-speed market. What does it actually mean to you? And why is it dangerous? Why interstate buyers are flooding Melbourne's outer burbs like it's a Black Friday sale. The brutal risk from overpaying to holding negative equity in a ghost town, and how smart long game investors are quietly avoiding the hype and stacking wins. This is the video that could save you from buying a lemon in Lara or a dud in Dandenong. Let's get into it. Firstly, let's talk about the 2-speed market. First lanes and dead ends. To quote realestate.com.au, quote, Melbourne's affordability is attracting investors from across the country, end quote. And Cameron Kasha from PropTrack in 2023 has said, quote, property booms in outer suburbs are often speculative bubbles waiting to burst, end quote. And from these two different views, this is the data, guys. According to CoreLogic, the median house price in Melbourne's outer suburbs like Craigieburn and Werribee jumped over 25% during the 2020 to 2021 boom, while inner city areas like Carlton and South Bank barely moved. So guys, this is my take. A 2-speed market is just the polite way of saying some of y'all are about to get wrecked. While one part of Melbourne basically booms, the other parts are basically treadmills. And if you bought in the wrong lane, guys, good luck finding a buyer when the music stops. And right now, those who are watching this might be thinking, hey Q, who's fueling this madness? Well, it's not the locals, it's the out-of-towners with zero context and a high-speed Wi-Fi connection. And this is where I'll talk about the rise of the FaceTime investors. Yes, people like you. According to large East Coast buyers agency, they quote, we're hoping a lot of clients invest in Melbourne's hotspots remotely with digital inspections, end quote. And according to the data, guys, ABS Australian Bureau of Statistics says migration data shows over 37,000 people moved to Victoria from out of states in 2022 to 2023. Investment inquiries from interstate rose 46%, with buyers targeting suburbs under $700,000 in fringe areas like Wyndham Vale and Pakenham. Sorry, I can't pronounce Pakenham, whatever. This is my take, guys. Invested in a suburb, for example myself, who can't pronounce the bloody suburb, and also you've never walked through before, and you're buying based on what the buyer's agent said, I'm telling you guys, that's not strategy. That's real estate roulette. And spoiler alert, guys, the house always wins. And this is where I talk about the real danger, guys. It isn't about just remote investing. It's what happens after you buy in a hype suburb that you can't keep up with its own population growth. And right now, this is where I talk about when the infrastructure sucks and the renters don't come. To quote mainstream views, according to Herald Sun, quote, Melbourne's growth corridors are booming with new developments, end quote. And according to Infrastructure Victoria, quote, they say new builds without matching infrastructure are a recipe for long-term vacancy risk, end quote. And guys, this is the data. According to SQM research, outer suburbs like Mickenham and Rockbank are experiencing rental vacancy rates as high as 4.8% compared to 1.2% in established inner city zones. Meanwhile, guys, infrastructure delivery in growth zones is lagging by an average of 3 to 5 years. So this is my take, guys. It's the same story every property cycle, right? There's roads first, home second, and schools maybe never. But investors rushing to buy, but renters don't. Like suddenly, you're stuck with a property that no one wants to live in. Like I'm talking about the nearest Woolies could be like 50 minutes away through 2 roundabouts and a cow paddock. What I'm trying to say to you guys is buy when there's infrastructure there, not when they say, oh, there will be infrastructure. There's a real difference, guys. So if you think you're holding on to long term and that strategy will save you, well, think again, guys. This isn't just about growth. It's about the kind of growth. And this is the part of the video where I talk about when capital growth becomes capital carnage. According to fill in the blanks sponsored Instagram ad by a buyer's agent you never heard of before, quote, oh, suburb X has grown 30% in 2 years. Now it's time to buy, end quote. Have you heard of that before? But here's the reality, guys. According to AMP chief economist Shane Oliver, he quotes, rapid capital growth without economic fundamentals usually ends in price corrections, end quotes. And guys, this is the data. CoreLogic shows that some outer suburbs that boomed in 2021 are now retracting. Point Cook, for example, is down 6.3% year on year in 2024. Meanwhile, inner blue chip suburbs have held or grown modestly. And guys, this is my take. Buying in the boom is like turning up to a party right before the cops arrive. The cake's empty, the DJ's unplugged, and you just paid peak cover charge just to stand in the driveway. And if you're not buying based on population growth, job hubs, and wage data, you're the product, not the investor. So in this point of the video, you'll be saying, hey Q, so how do you avoid all this? How do you buy into Melbourne without getting stitched up? So right now in this video, I'll teach you how to actually play in the Melbourne market. According to the Domain Property Academy, they suggest, quote, look for long-term growth indicators, not just short-term price trends, end quote. Like I'm telling you guys, just me being real with you. If your buyer's agent doesn't know which train line the suburb is on, I mean, just fire them. They have no product knowledge of that area. Because according to data, ABS, which is Australian Bureau of Statistics, and RBA, Reserve Bank of Australia, the data shows suburbs with strong wage growth, school zones, and infrastructure pipeline outperforms hotspots all the time. And this is over a 10-year window, and the outperformance is by 20 to 35% in capital growth. So for those that are watching this at the moment, if you want to win in Melbourne, I'm telling you right now, just get local. Buy where owner-occupiers want to live. Follow school zones, employment clusters, and demographic shifts. I'm not talking about hype maps on TikTok. If your buyer's agent can't pronounce Essendon, for example, if I pretend to be a buyer's agent, you probably call me out straight away, because I clearly can't pronounce that, and all the other suburbs that I just mentioned, because I'm not a local. And if that happens, I suggest you get a new buyer's agent. Now, right now, guys, a lot of you'll be scratching your head and go, hey Q, well, where should I buy? And I understand not every of my clients have a 7-figure budget, but that doesn't mean you're locked out of smart investing. In fact, some of the best long-term plays in Melbourne are hiding in plain sight. These are the top 5 suburbs in Melbourne that are under $800,000. And you don't need a $1.5 million budget to play the long game in Melbourne, but you do need local intel, a strong rental market, and infrastructure that's actually built. These suburbs are where the smart investors look when they want value without ending up in a paddock with no footpath. Number 1, guys, Sunshine and Sunshine West. It's got a 5-year growth of 35% on average. Its median house price is $780,000 according to CoreLogic 2024, and this suburb has been called the next Footscray for a reason. It has a fast train to CBD, right under 20 minutes to get to the CBD, and it's part of the state's suburban rail loop investment. And at the moment, it's already seeing gentrification. In terms of school zones, Sunshine College is improving rapidly. Also near Werribee College, clearly I can't pronounce that, but it's around that fringe zone. And in terms of local insight, because I had a lot of clients in Victoria, obviously my videos go over Australia and I have a big customer base in Victoria, even though I'm in Sydney. According to local insight, that area has a lot of immigrant side hustles, old school brick homes, and cafe culture is cashing up. Investors that ignored it 5 years ago are kicking themselves at the moment. Number 2, Thomastown North. And in the last 5 years on average, they experienced a 28% capital growth. The median house price over there is $760,000 according to CoreLogic. And I think personally, not financial advice or property coaching advice, but looking at the data, it's 17 kilometers away from the CBD. It's close to Epping Plaza, Northern Hospital, and the new employment zones at the Cooper Street precinct. That is solid infrastructure. Also on top of that, it has strong multicultural owner-occupied base, means it will experience low price volatility. And in terms of transport, guys, Thomastown Station plus Ringwood nearby equals commuter gold. And these are the local insights that I've heard. I know this suburb is not sexy on Instagram, but it's rock solid for tenants, tradies, and working families. And at the moment, this suburb is quietly rising while TikTok pushes Tronganina. And number 3, guys, it's Frankston, Southeast Bayside. And in terms of the 5-year average growth, it has experienced 38% on average. The median house price there is $780,000. Now, for all you guys who want beach culture, if you want a beach suburb that's under $800,000, this is it. Gentrification is real, guys. It's close to Monash Peninsula campus, and Frankston Hospital is experiencing expansion. And on top of that, guys, it's within the suburban rail loop stop. That is a great commuter plus. In terms of school zone, guys, Frankston High School, according to some of my clients that live in Victoria, it's one of the best public schools in Victoria at the moment, and that is a huge value anchor. In terms of local insight, guys, it used to have a rough reputation, but all that is changing right now, guys. Number 4, Werribee, and it's Southwest Werribee. In terms of the 5-year average growth, it has experienced a 30% average capital growth, and the median house price over there is $670,000. At the moment, in terms of why it's so good and placing 4th, is because it's part of the Wyndham Grove corridor at the moment. It has a direct train access to CBD and the future freeway upgrades. And on top of that, it has major job precincts developing nearby. For example, the Werribee Eastern Point precinct. A lot of you Melbourne guys know about that. And in terms of school size, guys, it has a mix of improving schools plus a lot lots of new builds. And according to some of my local clients that live there and work around there, they just tell me, hey Q, if you're gonna buy this area, just ignore the cookie cutter build at the moment. Don't buy them. I recommend you go for the established homes near the river or Werribee mansion zone. They tell me that that's where the value creeps in quietly. Shh, keep it between me and you. And guys, lucky number 5 is Noble Park, Southeast. In terms of the 5-year growth average, it's experiencing 34% capital growth on average. The median house price there is $770,000. And for those Melbourne folks or Victorian folks that are watching this, I know, it's not quite like Dandenong and it's not quite like Springvale. And that's exactly the sweet spot, guys. Currently, it's gentrifying fast. It has a killer food scene, rock solid train line access, and a multicultural rental market that sticks. And although the transport, it kind of sucks, like it's 40 minutes to the CBD by train, but it has easy access to minus access. In terms of local insights for those locals that live there, I've heard they have a strong rental demand and older homes on larger blocks, and they're all priced below its full potential, but only for now. So guys, this is my final thoughts on suburbs that are under $800,000 in Melbourne at the moment. These areas might not go viral on Instagram. They're not the shiny house and land packages with the LED strip lighting, or they have a 5-minute commute to Woolies or something like that, but they tick the real boxes. They're close to jobs, solid schools, train lines that actually work, rental demand that won't evaporate when interest rates sneeze. So guys, forget the hype suburbs pushed by interstate buyers agents with a drone or a ring light and who have zero postcode credibility. If you're shopping under $800,000 and you want capital growth, rentability, long-term demand, this is your blueprint. But again, not financial advice. And hey, you might not listen, and you might be still tempted by the clickbait and the hype and the so-called buyers agents out there. But just a word of caution, guys. These guys, some of them are using ChatGPT and Google Maps to sell you on suburbs they've never visited before. On top of that, guys, beware of buyers agents that work with these dodgy developers who are flogging investment-grade townhouses 2 hours from CBD with no train line in sight. And on top of all that dodginess, watch out for the politicians approving mass rezoning in growth corridors without schools, roads or hospitals. And most importantly, including myself, take it with a grain of salt, the so-called property influencers telling you, just get in the market right now, as if buying in Melton is the same as buying in Fitzroy. So guys, here's the truth. This is my closing statement. Melbourne is a land of opportunity. But right now, guys, you need to be smart. You need to know how to read the terrain. There's nothing wrong with buying in the outer suburbs, but there's something wrong buying there blindly. I don't want you buying based on hype, FOMO, or your cousin's mate who bought in officer. So if you guys want a really tailored strategy plan that includes holistic lending, where to buy by speaking to my respective buyers agents, setting up trust structures if you want with my financial planners and accountants, I suggest you to either book a 50-minute strategy call with me or a 60-minute deep dive strategy call with me, where I create a tailored plan to help you, like all my investor clients that found me through TikTok or YouTube and booked a call, to do your proper due diligence before you enter the market in Melbourne. But then, hey, if you're not ready, just hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and smash the share button. Share this information to your friends, colleagues, family members, whoever they are that needs this information, because at the end of the day, guys, knowledge is power. And thank you for watching another episode of That Property Roast, and I'll see you in the next couple of days.